Oh, Mugger.
Yeah, but I mean, it's nice. You'll be all right.
Very good. You're looking good. Are we good?
I'm not going to bother one if you get out. That's what I say. It's going to be a
I don't know if I can. They're going to have to put it on the first reading. They said nobody's going to understand it. Elizabeth, Tony, and Michael, and that's right. I'm waiting on the text. I may have to leave, and I'm going to have to tell you.
Free Sanders.
I know we did that right.
Reed's got more energy than me, so let him have it. He's ran a couple of times.
He said what?
He didn't say a word.
What'd you say to him?
I said, you know, we need your help.
That part of the district.
I said, I'm going to take care of Matthew.
I've only met the guy twice.
He would. He could probably get it done.
Yes, I'll tell you get rain. Yeah, I was going to say, keep your post.
We do this, we're going to hire somebody. Is in the next one. And we'd rather do it.
Needs to go about without saying hi.
Is that what it costs? I'll have to take it. Well, I'll take it out of the football part of it out of his budget. It's in there. We put tourism money into the budget. See, he didn't spend it all the way.
Matthew's supposed to be here to say everything, so maybe I'll help.
Yeah.
Probably do first reading.
Yeah, let's do first reading. That'd be good.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the regular session of the Sullivan County Commission, Thursday, September 18th, 2025. I invite you to remain standing through the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Travis Ward. The first for invocation by Commissioner Larry Crawford. Mr. Crawford, if you will, sir.
Let's bow for prayer. Lord, it is with grateful hearts that we come before you this evening to give you thanks and to honor you for all that you've done for us, all that you've done for this wonderful county that we're part of. God, we know there's many that are suffering this hour by some events that's taken place that are just incomprehensible. But God, we know that you weren't surprised at anything. All things do work together for good. And Lord, we just pray for those individuals that they would be comforted in all that they have suffered and gone through. Bless this time now that we have together as we look to the future of our county and make decisions to govern, to make it a better place to live, play, and to do business. All of this I pray in Christ's name. Amen.
You would face the flag, render a proper salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Members, when the board opens, please record your presence. Has every member recorded their presence? Has every member recorded their presence? Madam Clerk.
22 present, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Having the necessary quorum, the September 2025 regular meeting of the Sullivan County Commission will come to order. Without objection, our first order of business are annual elections. Elections of chairman, chairman pro temp, and deputy chair. At this time, I'd like to invite Chairman Pro Tem Zane Vanover to assume the chair, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, the floor is open for nominations for Chairman of the Sullivan County Commission.
I'd like to nominate Chairman John Gardner.
We got a nomination for Chairman Gardner. Is there a second? Several seconds. Mr. Gardner, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you, Chairman Vanover. I do accept the nomination. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations?
Motion for nominations to cease.
Got a motion for nominations to cease. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The nominations will cease and we'll move on to a vote. We'll do a roll call vote. That has to be done to make things legal and correct. So, Madam Chairman, Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
Akerd, absent. Calton. Yes. Carr,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Crosswhite. Yes. Gardner,
Yes.
Weber,
Abstain.
Harvey,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Jones, absent. King,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
McMurray,
Yes.
Means,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Slagle,
Yes.
Stidham,
Yes.
Vanover,
Yes.
Ward.
Yes, ma'am.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Twenty-one yes, 2 absent, 1 abstain.
Hearing the results, congratulations, Mr. Chairman. You can have your seat back.
Before I sit down, I want to thank y'all. It was a year ago that we did this, and I was at a, everybody knows Deborah and I, we like to go to the Grand Ole Opry, and last time we were at the Grand Ole Opry, Ringo Starr was the main event. And he sang an old Beatles song, I Get By With a Little Help From My Friends. And I want every one of you to know, every single one of you, all of you, to know I consider you friends and family. And I said a year ago, I see y'all more than I do most of my family. And I'm thankful for that. Thank y'all. And thank you, Commissioner Vanover, for doing an excellent job every time you filled in. And thank you, Commissioner Means, for the nomination. Next order of business is to elect Chairman Pro Tem of the Sullivan County Commission for the year 2025-2026. The floor is open for nominations. Recognize Commissioner Hunter Locke.
Zane Vanover.
Commissioner Hunter Locke enters the name Commissioner Zane Vanover for the position of Chairman Pro Tem. Commissioner Vanover, do you accept Commissioner Locke's nomination? Absolutely. The floor is open for more nominations. Does anyone else seek recognition?
Move the nomination cease.
Commissioner Crawford moves that nominations cease, seconded by Commissioner Crosswhite. Commissioner Cross, All in favor of nomination cease, so we call the roll for the election of Chairman Pro Tem. Say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Madam Clerk, if you will, call the roll.
Baker, absent. Calton, Calton, yes. Cole,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Frost,
Yes.
Frostwhite, yes. Gardner,
Yes.
Glover,
Yes.
Harvey, yes. Hayes,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Jones, absent. King,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
McMurray,
Yes.
Means,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Slagle,
Yes.
Stidham,
Yes.
Vanover,
Yes.
Ward.
Yes, ma'am.
Would anyone like to change their vote? 22 yes, 2 absent.
Having received the necessary majority, the Honorable Zane Vanover is elected Chairman Pro Tem of the Sullivan County Commission, 2025-2026. Thank you, sir.
You'll give me a chance to speak, so I'm very honored to work under your guidance and fulfill whatever needs you need for this commission. So thank everyone for their support, and like I always say, I'll try not to mess it up. He does a good job, so thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Next order is the election of Deputy Chair of the Sullivan County Commission for the year 2025-2026. The floor is open for nominations. Recognize Commissioner Archie Pierce.
I'd like to place a nomination, Hunter Locke.
Commissioner Pierce enters the name Hunter Locke into nomination. Commissioner Locke, do you accept Commissioner Pierce's nomination?
Yes.
Commissioner Locke accepts the nomination. The floor is still open for nominations. Anyone seek recognition?
Motion cease nomination.
Motion for nomination ceased by Commissioner Cole, second by Commissioner Carlson, Commissioner Crosswhite. Without objection, all those in favor of nomination ceasing, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Madam Clerk, you'll call the roll, please.
Baker, absent. Calton, yes. Carr,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Frost,
Yes.
Crosswhite, yes. Gardner,
Yes.
Glover,
Yes.
Harvey, yes. Hayes,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Jones, absent. King,
Yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
McMurray,
Yes.
Means, Pierce,
Yes.
Slagle,
Yes.
Stidham,
Yes.
Vanover,
Yes.
Ward.
Yes, ma'am.
Would anyone like to change their vote? 22 yes, 2 absent.
Having received the necessary Commissioner King had his button press. I'll recognize you, Commissioner King.
Thank you. I just, exactly what is the role of the deputy chairman? What does he do?
That was something that we had talked about a couple of years ago. Well, we didn't, but I had talked about it before with other folks. There were 3 occasions in between 2023 and 2024 that had we had another person that we could have used in. Fortunately, it didn't come up last year. But I've actually offered Commissioner Locke about a week ago, just depending on how things went, I'd like to actually let him sit up here. What's the qualifications? I think you got to be at least 21. I think if you're eligible to run, you're eligible to serve.
Payback's ours, Mr. Hunter. Payback.
I thought I did a really good job explaining that personally. So, yeah. Mr. Locke.
Thank you all. It's an honor to serve as deputy chair. I think we did quite a few good things this what he's been doing. You okay with that? Sure. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you all very much. Next order of business, Sullivan County Regional Health Department Director Hannah Taylor. If you'll make your way to the front. Glad to have you here with us.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm Hannah Taylor. I'm the Regional Director of the Health Department. Commissioner Means asked me to come and talk about our FunFest CPR initiative. And I'm actually going to ask a few coworkers and friends to come up. I can't take credit for that initiative if I'm being honest. I finished it out, but Gary Mays was the one who got that started via our health council. So I got to do the exciting part of it and wrap it up with a pretty bow and go participate. So the idea stems from our health council initiative, which was actually Captain James Hubbard, and he's here with us tonight. So I'm going to ask him to come up and talk about his reasoning why he felt that was important for our county. And then I've also got infamous Dr. May here to talk about some medical aspects of that as well. We will be doing this initiative again at the Westridge versus DB football game on the September 26th. We're going to start the morning before or the evening before, excuse me, at the feeding the football teams. And our goal is to train 1,000 people within those 24 hours. Then we will also be doing this at the Tennessee High versus David Crockett game on October 3rd as well. So if it's okay, I'm going to ask them to come up and talk a little bit more about the specifics of the initiative, simply because I don't feel like I can take credit for the whole thing. So, there we go.
Hello, I'm James Hubbard with Sullivan County EMS. Gary came to us through the Health Council with a goal of teaching 500 people CPR in a year. And it's long been a dream of ours to be able to take training to the people more. So it was kind of like a get ready and go sign for me and Dr. May. We decided, instead of trying to approach churches and other civic groups, which we still do, and saying, hey, let us come do training, why don't we take the training to where the people are at? So we have a good working relationship with FunFest. We talked with them, and they were willing to give us a booth and to support us during the concerts. We trained 528 people in hands-only CPR in 3 nights. And we don't want that to be a one-and-done thing. We want to keep building on it. So now we have the initiative that Sullivan County Schools asked us, can we do a football game? Bristol, Tennessee Schools said, can we do a football game? So our goal is to do 1,000 people trained at the Westridge DB game, and to hopefully do at least that many at the Tennessee High game. And I can talk to you a little bit about the importance. I don't want to take Dr. May's space here, but at Sullivan County EMS, we work very hard to increase the survivability of cardiac arrest. We're almost twice the national average. But the number one thing that could make it a bigger difference is bystander CPR before we get there. And that's really what we're trying to do. And I'll step aside and let Dr. May talk.
So once again, we'll talk, I'm Stephen May. I function as the medical director for the health department. I've been there since 1999. So this has become dear to my heart. In each of our community health assessments that I've been doing for the last 20 plus years, coronary artery disease remains the #1 killer in Sullivan County. We could literally take the second, third, and fourth, add them all together, and still heart disease, cardiac arrest would outnumber all of them put together. Our numbers, by the way, are on our website. You can go to www.sullivanhealth.org and you can look at the numbers that we have for our community health assessment. So recognizing with the Health Council, this is the #1 health issue we need to be dealing with to save people's lives. And with the newer research showing hands-only CPR, everybody knows you don't want to go breathing for somebody else. It's not a pleasant task. But by just doing hands-only CPR, and if you can keep that person going for the 6.5 minutes on average that it takes our EMS to respond, then we can increase survival rates by 3 times. And that's not survival just to get to the hospital. That is survival and walking out of the hospital. So keeping that blood pumping, and that's all we're asking, just keep pumping on the chest till we get EMS there to provide advanced cardiac life support. So a very important initiative, something that's very dear to my heart, is saving people. As someone who has experienced a heart attack and is walking around with my level of stents, I greatly appreciate the value of this training. It takes about 1.5 minutes to teach somebody with the video. If we had the opportunity, we would be glad to teach each and every one of you all the ability to provide this life-saving CPR. So, looking at the national numbers, we have an opportunity. This is low-hanging fruit. Rather than 40% who receive bystander CPR, we want 100% of people who have a cardiac arrest, whether it's on the ball field, whether it's at home, whether it's in any other place, out in Walmart or wherever. We want everyone to have the opportunity to have CPR to save their lives. And that means more to their families and all the people that we serve here in Sullivan County. So I'm going to turn it over here to Chief Marsh, tell you a little bit about the EMS side of it.
Good afternoon. Well, I guess it's evening now. I really want to commend Captain Hubbard for his vision for this. Am I lying to say that this has been dear to his heart for at least the past 7 years? I had the opportunity to be his deputy chief, and he would come in and he would always have a plan, and then we would have to jump over a hurdle or come up with another idea. So I commend him for his vision and just sticking with this. And like Dr. May said, our #1 hurdle in EMS is time. It's time. We have to get hands on the chest. We are well above the national average, and that is something that each and every one of you all need to be grateful for. I know you are, as well as that shows your support for us and your EMS department, okay, with our equipment, with our team members. We train monthly. We have a great team, and they are doing phenomenal work. Dr. May said it best during Fun Fest. We were watching mothers, daughters, grandchildren coming up and doing CPR. And Dr. May said, we look at these little 10, 11-year-olds, well, they're just doing it just for a t-shirt, okay? But no, they're really not, because if their mama or papa collapses in front of them, I guarantee you, one of them will remember the training that they had. So I do want to commend Captain Hubbard for his again, his vision and for sticking with it, and thank you all.
Does anyone have any questions for either of these folks before we turn them loose?
Thank you much. Appreciate your time.
Commissioner Maines, I'm sorry,
I'm sorry about
You're
that.
fine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Captain Hubbard, yes. Do they have to be a certain age?
No, that's kind of the beauty about it. As long as they are physically capable of doing compressions. We did CPR with kids at Fun Fest as young as 5 years old.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, hang on just one second, if you don't mind. The reason I wanted you all to come out here is I had a little story I wanted to say, and I wanted to tell the commission as well. Well, I got two stories. So my 17-year-old, when he was 15, he had been CPR certified, so it's unrelated to what you all have going on. But a man passed out, or something happened, and while him and my husband were out, and he started performing CPR at 15 years old, and he helped save that man's life. So that's what I love about being on the health councils. We're getting to see those kinds of things kind of come to fruition. But specifically wanted to, I spoke with Hannah about having you all come because you all were boots on the ground. And that, we might look at 528 people in 3 nights and be like, oh, that's cute. But that's a lot of work that they were doing. And they came over to me, this is the other story I'm going to tell you, is someone came over to me and my family, and we had a lot of kids, and they offered to do CPR for all of us. We were all CPR certified. But I can't remember who it was, but I mean, sweat rolling down his face with t-shirt in his hand. So it wasn't like they were just standing in a booth and just waiting for people to come to them. They were out working and seeing and making it happen. And I just wanted to thank you, because the frustrating part about government is we do a lot of reactive approaches to things, and this is it feels good because it's a proactive event. So thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. Our next order is appointment of Becky McKinney to the Sullivan County Library Board. Whereas the Sullivan County Mayor has authority to appoint members to the Sullivan County Library Board of Directors, whereas the Sullivan County Library Board of Directors has submitted recommendation for a member on the board. Now therefore be it resolved, judged and decreed by Sullivan County Mayor Richard S. Venable, his capacity to appoint members to the Sullivan County Library Board, Becky McKinney, be appointed to serve on the Sullivan County Library Board of Directors. The term will end September 2029. Any discussion on the appointment? Entertain a motion on the appointment.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cross, second by Commissioner Crosswell. Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on the appointment requiring 13 votes for passing. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
22 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, Becky McKinney is appointed to the Sullivan County Library Board of Directors. The next order is to approve 2-year extension of elected official bonds for Sullivan County Clerk and Master Catherine Janelle to synchronize bonds coverage window with Janelle's current term of office to end in 2028. Whereas in accordance with Tennessee Code Annotated Title 8, Chapter 19, the county legislative body for Sullivan County has the authority to authorize and approve statutory bonds for elected and appointed officials serving Sullivan County. Whereas 2 bonds for Catherine Elizabeth Jones Janelle, clerk and master of Sullivan County Schools, are secured in the amount of $100,000 each to the Cincinnati Insurance Company. Before I continue on with that, I believe we've got a typo there. That's supposed to say Sullivan County Courts. I was just on autopilot and I just went through that, but it's, we have a typo in there, so we'll need to, can we correct that on the spot now? Okay, so it will need to, that will need to read clerk and master of Sullivan County Courts. Whereas a change rider to extend the expiration of the bond is necessary. Now therefore be it ordered, adjudged, and decreed pursuant to Tennessee Code Annotated, Title 8, Chapter 19, Sullivan County Board of Commissioners hereby approves change rider extend the bond for Catherine Elizabeth Jones Janelle, amending the end date from September 1st, 2026 to September 1st, 2028 at a cost of $266 per bond, $524 total. Yeah, I was looking at that too.
Make a motion to approve the bond.
That's wrong, match was wrong.
It needs to be 532 if it's 220, 266 each. That needs to read 532. Can you also correct that on the fly? You need a motion to amend both of them. Well, I'm asking her to do it. I'm gonna, when we vote on it, as amended. All right, in this case, that's correct. Thank you, Deputy Chair. Entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Pierce, second by Commissioner Locke. Any further discussion on the appointment, on the bond? When the board opens, please cast your vote on the approval of the bond. Requires 13 votes for passage. Hit it. Has every member voted? Thank you, Deputy Chair, for reminding me that mine didn't register. Now you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful there. Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
22 yes, 2 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, the bond is approved as corrected and amended. Next order, approval of meeting minutes for meetings August 14th, 2025, rezoning hearing and work session, and August 18th, 2025, regular session meeting. Entertain a motion to approve. Motion to approve by Commissioner Locke, second by Commissioner Ward. Is there any discussion on the minutes as presented? Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on the minutes as presented. Requires 13 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
22 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, the minutes are approved. Next order, approval of notaries public. Madam Clerk, do we have a list of notaries? Madam Clerk.
Donna Anderson, Andrea Victoria Beneve Sanchez, Anthony Paul Blizzard Sr., Joseph A. Folia, Jamie Bradley, Shayla Klaus, Katiska Cook, Johnny Cooper, William Ellis DeFord, Eric Stephen Eastridge, Joseph G. Felty, Teresa L. Gordon, Ashley Hope Hamilton, Kayla Holland, Patricia Hubbard, Lisa Johnson, Casey Lottery, Shelby Love, Devin James McMahon, Francis O. Mead, Todd Mead, Michael A. Numpower, Danielle Lee Nadeau, Lauren Elizabeth Ozire, Corey Tate Roberts, Kathy Robinette, Trina Pearl Robinette, Missy Schaefer, Maxine C. Stonecipher, Jennifer Sue Taylor, Jessica Vaughn, Heather M. Ward.
You've heard the list of notaries. Is there any discussion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cole, second by Commissioner Ward. Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on the list of notaries. Requires 13 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
22 yes, 2 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, the notaries are approved. Next order is public comment. Was there anyone that wanted to sign up for public comment but didn't get an opportunity to? When we do it in 2 parts, agenda related and non-agenda related. Is anyone didn't get an opportunity to do it that would like to? Okay, if we have a list, I'll go ahead and take it. Before we begin, I will read our rules of public comment. Each speaker is required to state their name and address for the clerk's electronic record. Though this is not question answer, clarifying questions may be permitted. No speaker can transfer or yield time to another speaker. Each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes uninterrupted and is asked to direct all comments to the chair of the body and not members. At the end of the 3 minutes, I will let you know and ask that you make your final statements. I'd like to invite Victoria Hunt to the well, please. Ms. Hunt, thank you.
Okay. First, as a side note, last week I was trying to listen to you all. I could hardly hear you all through your microphones, and then you would blare me out. They're microphones, let's use them. Okay, my name is Victoria Mills Hunt. I live at 4257 Rockville Road, Bluff City, Tennessee, and I am here about item number 8. A few months back, you all did agree to give Netta money to basically do what item number 8 is wanting to do all over again. Why? Has Netta been given time and the money? Has the money been given to them to do what you all want them to do with item number 8? And what do you know what you need for rural tourism? Because 2 or 3 years ago, you all asked for a study of our area and you got a plan. You did not get a study of the roads along the South Holston River. I was the first person in this county to call the highway department and ask for traffic reports for roads like Big Springs, River Road, Silver Grove, any river that ran along the river. So you did not get that in your plan because you didn't get a study. Also, in your study, you didn't get that about 90% of the property that lines the South Holston River between the dam and the beginning of Boone Lake is about 90% privately owned. And of that property, I'll say 70% is posted. No fishing, no hunting, no trespassing of any kind. So that tells me that most of us in that area are trying to keep people, for many reasons, off of our property, not welcome them to it. You're putting a lot of emphasis on tourism in this county. And I would love, my child gets to come home in March. I finally get him home from Japan. And I would love for him to make Sullivan County his home. But there's not businesses that will give him the income he needs. And he's not going to come home to be a tour guide in one of these places. He wants something more than that, something more fulfilling, something that pays more. We're farmers and conservationists out there. And not only now are we taking care of the land, but we're also taking care of the river. Our part of the river, people have willy-nilly just crossed us, gone wading, and I have, in the past year, cut that off. And I have talked to many of the floating guides, and they have said that within a year, they are able to catch bigger and better looking fish just within that year. So we're trying to conserve the river for you all too. That's something else you all didn't get in a study because you got a plan. And as another side note, it's been many, many, many moons ago that I did contracts for the government. And I can tell you, back then, things could have changed, but back then, an RFQ was a request for quotes. You also have an RFP, which is a request for proposals. And within those documents, you put in what is called a SOQ, which is a statement for qualifications. So what are you doing according to the wording of this item? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hunt. Is there anyone else that would like to address the commission? Without objection, the public comment portion of the agenda is closed. Next order is the approval of the consent calendar. On the consent calendar, we have items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Is there an item that anyone wishes to bump off before we vote? And the consent calendar requires 100% approval. So there's one that you'd like to bump off. Now it's time to do it. I'm going to give you all a few minutes to look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Crawford, second by Commissioner County. Any further discussion? When the board opens, please cast your vote on the consent. Do you want to speak on the consent calendar? You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to comment on item 4. I'm not sure if, I wasn't able to be here last week, but Mr. Carter and I have been working on this program, and there's September 25th at 1:30 at the school board office. We're going to have a meeting with other government department heads to see if they could implement this program within their departments. And so anyways, I just wanted y'all to know that I sat with him like about a week or two ago. It's been a couple weeks, and I guess I got to thinking how we have some really good people that are running things around here, and how, you know, if my child would want to be involved in something like this, I would love for, you know, them to send over maybe like Miss Teresa or Mr. Dan and just be mentored by them. So that's all that was the idea behind it. So I hope that we can encourage department heads to be able to just come and see what he's got to say. September 25th at 1:30 at the school department, what administration office? Yeah. Thank you.
Motion approved by Commissioner Crawford, second by Commissioner Cowden. When the board opens, please cast your vote on the consent calendar requiring unanimous consent. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
22 yes, 2 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, the consent calendar is approved. Next order, I'm going to take up our resolution calendar, and I spoke with Commissioner Ward before the meeting began. He's the sponsor of item number 10. Is there any objection to rolling item number 10 to the front of the calendar for the purpose of accommodating our visitors and the judges that are here? Without objection, recognize Commissioner Ward on item number 10.
Thank you, Chairman. This is a resolution to accept and appropriate up to $140,000 from the state grant to create a mental health court program in Sullivan County General Sessions Court Division 1 and Sullivan County General Sessions Court Division 2. Creation of this mental health court program would benefit Sullivan County and its residents by addressing the specific needs of the mentally ill who come through the courts by providing treatment and other options to help them. On a daily basis, I meet with Judge Nelson and Judge Vance. There's many men and women that come through their courts on a daily basis that have at some point experienced some type of mental health crisis, and then it's led to a criminal charge because of that. They have recognized that. These two judges have taken it upon themselves to seek out this state grant and form this mental health court in their divisions. I think it's a great idea. It'll help cut down on some of the individuals that do not need to be in jail, and it'll give them an opportunity to get the help that they need. And I would ask that everybody support this because it's benefit us all in Sullivan County. Thank you.
You've heard the explanation on item number 10. Commissioner Ward, what's you wish to run it tonight on waiver of rules? Commissioner Ward moves waiver of rules on item number 10. The floor is open for discussion. Anyone seek recognition? Recognize Commissioner Means.
Commissioner Ward, I don't know if you would have this or maybe the judges would have it, but I guess I was just thinking of a good definition of mentally ill. Of course, there's a mental health problem, but I didn't know if maybe the Tennessee state defines if there's like a good definition of it, that you have it. So I'm just thinking, that can be a slippery slope,
I'll let one of the judges come up and answer that question.
Thank
They can. If one of you wish to address that, you're more than welcome.
What I would in response to that say is that what we see through the court system are people who are have a mental health diagnosis, people who are have a mental health that's undiagnosed, and people who have co-occurring mental health as well as drug use. So you have a kind of a category, subcategories within the category. When this grant is approved through the state, they have several criteria that we are required to meet before they will allow us to receive funds. And they will help us set up kind of a working definition and a criteria for admissibility or for people who are just not eligible. But the idea behind the mental health court is very similar. You all are very familiar with the recovery court program. It's very, very similar to that. Unfortunately, though, this is a different category of individual that can't be addressed through the recovery court. We'll have a full-time mental health coordinator, somebody who has to have at least a 4-year degree in social work or some type of mental health background, and they will kind of facilitate the program, but they'll be members of, we'll be part of it. There'll be the availability for criminal defense attorneys, the public defender's office, the district attorney's office, someone from Frontier Health. So we'll have a large group of people who will screen each individual to see if they're even meet the criteria to be introduced into the program. And then the program itself will probably run, I would say at a minimum, 6 to 12 months for the person to go through the program and see if they can graduate from it.
So someone who's particular, like more specifically on drugs, is that what this is for?
No, it is to focus primarily on mental health. And Sergeant Ward, Commissioner Ward can kind of explain to you, we see a range of individuals through the court system. We see people who are autistic, people who are schizophrenic, people who have other forms of psychiatric diagnosis, but you will frequently see people who have that, and sometimes I'll say it's hard to tell which comes first, the chicken or the egg. Are they using drugs because they're trying to treat their mental illness, or are they mentally ill because they've had drug use over the years and it's caused these problems? And so that's why when we talk about co-occurring, it's people who primarily would have a mental health diagnosis, but they may also have some drug use as well. And that's very, very common in the kinds of individuals that we see on unfortunately, a daily basis.
Thank you.
Recognize Commissioner Harris.
I just want to say to the judges, it's easy to see problems. It's not easy to find solutions to problems. I really applaud you both for doing this. It's great that you found a source of funding, which is always a hard part to do, but thank you. I mean, we see a lot of issues, we see a lot of things, but you guys have actually put feet to the ground to make it happen, and I do appreciate that. And Ms. Ward, if I can, I'd like to be a first one.
Commissioner McMurray.
Thank you. And, I would reiterate what Commissioner Iverson just said. This is awesome. This is something that is definitely needed, and no amount of jail time will ever treat someone's mental illness. They get out, they're doing the same kind of thing. But one of the things that I wanted maybe you all to talk about, we're not plowing new ground. There's other jurisdictions that have these courts in Tennessee, and they've been very successful. Is that correct?
That's correct. I know Judge Lincoln in Washington County started a mental health court
there in Johnson City. It's been quite successful there since his retirement. I know another judge has taken over the reins. And but in speaking with Judge Lincoln down there, the program has evolved, grown, and has been quite successful.
Commissioner Ward.
My word.
Yes, sir.
I think it's a great opportunity for Sullivan County right now. Only echo, I commend these two judges. I see, they probably see me more than they want to. I know Judge Nelson and myself, we've sat in her office and talked about mental health issues. What are we going to do with this person? And they've seeked out and found the funds from the state, and I think it'll be a great opportunity for the courts and for sessions and for Sullivan County. So I truly ask that you support this.
Sponsor renews his motion for waiver of rules on item number 10. Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on item number 10, requiring 16 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
22 yes, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, item number 10 is adopted. Without objection, recognize Commissioner Vanover on item number 8.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations again.
Thank you. To you as well, sir.
Item number 8 is a resolution to authorize the Sullivan County purchasing agent to advertise for requests for qualifications to provide tourism, marketing, and tourism enhancement services for Sullivan County on an annual contractual basis. We went over this last week at length, and I'll skip the first two whereases. They're just boilerplate language. The third whereas says, in November 24, the Board of Commissioners of Sullivan County approved Resolution 241108, directing that 50% of the county's occupancy tax revenues to be directed to NETA, and that's going to continue annually, as the resolution says. Nothing's going to change with our relationship with NETA. Whereas Resolution 241108, as approved by the Commission, established policy that the remaining 50% of revenue from the county's occupancy tax be directed to the Sullivan County Office of Director of Tourism, and that's the part we're talking about. Whereas the Commission now wishes to explore how best to utilize the 50% of occupancy tax revenues directed to the Sullivan County Office of Director of Tourism by seeking qualifications from those with expertise in the field of tourism promotion and development. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Sullivan County meeting in regular session September 18th, 25, authorizes the Sullivan County purchasing agent to advertise a RFQ for tourism promotion and development using normal purchasing procedures, as she does in any other RFQ, to review submissions and negotiations, any contracts. Further be it resolved, these guidelines shall be applied when Sullivan County is seeking to contract for consultation regarding and or provision of tourism promotion and development services for an initial contract period of 1 year. Number 2, the purchasing department will utilize its established protocols to review all responses submitted to answer to the RFQ. Day-to-day contact for any contractors would go through the administrative branch of county government via the finance director, deputy to the mayor, and all contractors shall present a report to the full Board of County Commissioners no less than once each 3 months. In addition, all contractors shall regularly send a representative to the Sullivan County Budget Committee, which shall retain authority granted to said committee in the original resolution approving implementation of the county occupancy tax. Before I get into too many questions, I know we'll have some, and that's good. It's good to have questions. I know a lot of people have been concerned with the role Matthew Johnson is going to continue in and what's going to happen with his future in this county, which is bright. We're lucky to have someone like Matthew. So I'd like to ask Matthew to step up to the podium and just give us his thoughts and his concerns, if he has any, and his opinion on this resolution.
Welcome, Mr. Johnson.
Good to be back, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. As far as my department and the Archives and Tourism, try to condense some things down, a little history that you may have heard, and status of where we're at and where we've been. The department, the two disciplines, I do my very best, along with my staff, to marry them based upon history, historical assets that we have in Fayetteville and throughout the county. Going into our 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, history will be certainly highlighted in both disciplines that be together or separate. When I go to seminars, continuing education, things of that nature, everybody always sees the name tag and they say, what in the world is archives and tourism? That is factual, but I always reiterate how we try to marry those together. This body writes resolutions and you debate them and you pass them on your own merit. When it comes to the disciplines standing on their own, I do think that both are worthy of 100% attention both ways. Now, make no mistake, I've given them 100% of my attention that I can, and my staff as well. I've sought out continuous education, certified archivist through the state, continued education on that side of things. I earned a certificate from ETSU in hospitality and tourism. But again, we're back to balancing how that works. And I do think we do it very well. I think with the intent of this resolution, when I look at it, it's not uncommon to outsource tourism, frankly. Our colleagues in both cities do that and all across the state. I mean, that's how you got to do it. You're not going to staff all the expertise. I could speak in my opinion of some of our folks, and we have folks, in my opinion, that when it comes to videography and drone footage and things of that nature, yeah, they can do that in-house. They have the talent to do it. They have the equipment to do it. But I can guarantee you there are pieces of their mission that they outsource. Same thing with Kingsport. So, moving forward, this commission has been so forward-thinking, and you took a lot of arrows and debated it to put this fee in place to fund tourism. And I think your expectations are obviously high. You're looking for return on your investment. I certainly plan, there are things that I would outsource myself, there's no question. And it needs to be, because there are firms that have expertise to do those things. So, I think when we look at the expectations that this commission may have, and I don't presume to know them all, but, and the return on investment that you're expecting, I think it's plausible to look at outsourcing those services. And then, of course, with archives, a lot of that we can do in-house, and we do a lot in-house. But the same thing, we have to have equipment to do so. But I think both, as the department is joint, I think we're in a good position. You guys have allowed funding, improved budget, so we're poised to have success. Be glad to answer any questions if you have direct questions. And that's kind of my take on things. Don't know if that answered you directly.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Matt, one question I've heard some of the commissioners speak on was a fear of losing some local control over what tourism promotion we do. I know you know as well as I do, there's a lot of good local contractors that could do this. And do you feel like we'd be losing any local control over our tourism if we did?
I think, yeah, definitely we could certainly partner, send out the quotes and partner with local organizations and firms to carry out the mission of the department. And also, when I think of some of the local controls, I think of Bluntville, probably. I mean, that's kind of where I've always viewed that we carved out in the county seat, and then we branch out because our cities do what they do so well. So I still think that you would see local concerts here. I think you would still see, obviously, the Ruatan does a great job of parade. We have the Historical Preservation Association and the Festival of Trees. So I think when you look at events, I think we're still solid on those, and I think that would be more of a local thing. When you look at marketing afar, massive marketing campaigns outside of the area, I think that's kind of, you correct me, but some of my take is where this resolution would be leading, not necessarily as much as local, because the local would remain under the auspices of this department and, downtown Parkville, essentially.
I just want to say Ted Matthews obtained many archival credentials, and he's been to all the schools and all the everything he needs to be to make him prepared to be the best archivist in the state. So he's very credentialed, very certified, and I think he's going to have a great future and probably be the best archivist in the state of Tennessee.
That's what we want. And just to piggyback off that a little bit, if you were to look at the actual credentials and things of that nature that I have earned, it is more archival heavy. But my passion for, when it comes down to it, when I came to the position, it's almost like a pickup truck and a prayer, really. It was, I'm sitting here, it's because I love what I'm doing, I love the county, and that's, the rest, I had to earn those credentials, so.
Recognize Commissioner Iverson.
Thank you, Matthew. Actually, no questions for you, just want to speak on the resolution, but was lucky enough to go to the governor's tourism event today in Meadowview. Tourism individuals from across the state, I think they said there were 610 were there today. It's the largest crowd they've ever had. Had some commissioner, I want to say Neely, but I might be wrong on the name. But anyway, there was one of the commissioners there, and he was talking about it, and he said, you have to remember that Tennessee is a sales tax state. So we don't do property tax. Everything we do, the majority of our funding comes from sales tax. And Jeff Fleming, visit Kingsport, I get his updates every once in a while, and one of those came out and said July 2025 is a TASA report. Kingsport and Bristol was #1 in the state as far as growth in sales tax. So I think a lot of that is the fact that we're taking this hotel motel money, we're putting it into tourism, and that tourism is helping grow the sales tax base. But at 3.57%, it was #1 in the state. And Commissioner Neely said one of the things that really spoke to me. He said, our visitors don't vote, but through tourism, they fund the needs of our voters. He said, well, the more sales tax grows, the lower property tax has to be, and that's the way to actually help our residents without burdening our residents with higher taxes. So the hotel motel money that we get by state law has to be spent on tourism. It has to be spent on things that are going to bring people from beyond 50 miles. So we can do things with it, and some of our local cities have done things with it, building things. But I like the idea of what we're doing now with NETA, and maybe if we get this new person to start doing this as well with the rest of the money. But the more interest we show, the more we advertise in the surrounding areas, where the new airline goes, DC and Florida, advertise around the state, advertise around the country, saying this is what East Tennessee has, this is what you should come and look at, this is what you should come and visit. And when they come and they visit, they don't just do one thing, they do multiple things, they spend money. And when they see that, local businesses will say, wow, I need to build this, or I need to make this. And actually, we're not supposed to be the creator, but we're supposed to be a creator of opportunity. The more people that show up, the more people that come to our area, the more money they spend when they're visiting, it will create opportunities for businessmen and businesswomen to say how they want to invest in our area, and what they can build in our area to continue that process. The more things we have, the more we advertise, the more we get more people in. And it was a very interesting conversation that he had today, and it was fantastic. But the thing that I really liked about that was a sales tax state. We need to continue increasing our sales tax, and that way it's not a burden on our taxpayers.
Recognize Commissioner Cole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a question. Does this resolution split tourism and archives? Because it sounds like that's what we're trying to
yes,
go with.
It does, and it separates. Matthew's been wearing two hats for a long time, but it does split those two departments. It's a good question. Thank you.
Does anyone else seek recognition? Commissioner King.
Thank you. Let's talk about just the rural part of the county and talk about sales tax. Looking every time that we're we get our report from sales tax, and we got, you know, the cities and outside the cities and the rural. And in the past, let's say 10 to 15 years, with Family Dollar and these other stores that's coming into the rural parts of the county, I'd say they're putting a whole lot more money, sales tax, than what all the tourism in Sullivan County does. And also, if you look at the Pinnacle in Bristol and what it brings in as far as sales tax, other than maybe the casino, I don't think there's anything that comes close to it as far as tourism. So, you know, you need to be looking at apples and apples and apples and oranges and compare. If you want to compare these, you need to go and look at exactly where the sales tax is coming to. And I don't know if anybody's coming from Nashville or Knoxville or somewhere up here, and they're going to Family Dollar and spending their money, and that's our sales tax. I mean, is that how we're doing it? I don't understand how we're separating the tourism money, how it's coming in. And to me, I just don't see it. If we're looking at strictly our rural part of the county, I think these stores that's coming up on, seems like every corner there's one or the other, and they're selling stuff and they're collecting sales tax. So to me, I think they're doing a whole lot more than what all the tourism is doing. So, but anyway, that's just my opinion.
Can I respond to that?
Commissioner?
I just want to say, you know, those Family Dollars have propped up a lot of sales tax in the county, but don't you think there were more people in those stores going to the race and going to tourist attraction? They bring in more sales tax dollars?
They can.
That's the whole idea of this.
They can, but, you know, Big City, you know, look at what Big City does on race weekend.
Okay, I don't disagree at all. I mean, that's what's propping us up. But you know, the whole idea of this tourism is to get more people in those stores, making more sales tax money. And as you all know, you know, half the sales tax money goes to the schools. And there's no better way to promote our schools. There's no better way to try to keep our taxes lower than to try to get more tourists in those stores, spending more money, raising more sales tax. So that's the whole point of what we're trying to do. And the takeaway I got from that conference today, Mark, and I'm glad you were there, is the commissioner said, the better your government is at promoting tourism, the better off your citizens are. Tourism keeps taxes low. And if people are really for keeping taxes low, property taxes, and for education, you'll do everything you can to try to make, we will do everything we can to make this the best attraction that we can to bring all the tourists in we can. So that's two key things to remember. Keep taxes low, more money for schools. More people you got giving to those food cities and dollar stores, the more sales tax we're going to have, not to have more property tax. And more money we're going to have to give to our schools. So that's the whole point of this, to be as good as we can at tourism in our county for our citizens.
And I agree with that, but there again, just like Mr. Torrey said, you gotta have jobs.
Tourism makes jobs. I mean, that's some of the best jobs you can have. If they want a good paying job, tourism, look at Dollywood, look at Sevier County, look at everything that Sevier County has to offer and all the jobs it has to offer.
And I agree with that 100%, what they've done that, but what about Sullivan County right here? I mean, you know, what about, you know, we got Eastman, you know, and we got Ballard, and then if you get out of that, what do we got? That's what.
That's a concern for me too, but the more tourists we have, the more jobs we're going to have, and the better off people are going to be. So if you want to make jobs, promote tourism.
But are they the kind of jobs that a family can live with?
Absolutely, they can. They're some of the best paying jobs. You know, I farmed for a long time, and you know how hard it is to make money farming. You open up a corn maze, you've got some money. So tourism is where you've got money. That's where the money is. Advertising, you've got to have the advertisement for it, and you've got to have it to bring jobs in. So this is
so we can scrap everything else, and tourism is going to save our county.
No, sir. It just goes with it. Part of it.
Well,
Did we say anything about scrapping anything? Is there anything there about scrapping anything? It's just something to go along with whatever else we have. We're not gonna scrap anything. We're just gonna make things better.
Right. Thank you.
Commissioner Love.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Zane, I'm glad that you hit on that thing about us taking care of tourism. I think giving NETA $800,000 is taking care of tourism. And my question is for either you or Matthew, either one. How many times have we approached NETA since we've collected this money to do any promotions or do anything for Sullivan County?
How many times have we approached?
Yeah.
Matthew, can you?
We have had some collaborations as far as the Blizzard Museum and a few other small things. But to your point, not a lot, no.
No.
Not for me.
So we're giving NETA $800,000 and we're wanting to permit tourism, but we're not working with them and giving them ideas that we need on $800,000. So whose fault's that?
Probably our fault.
It's our fault. So why do we want to put another $800,000 in duplicate services and put it into a contracting firm to do the job that we're supposed to be doing?
That $800,000 has to be spent on tourism. There's no other place to spend it on. That's state law. You gotta spend it on tourism. And a contractor we got, if we could bring a contractor in to coordinate everything in the rural part of the county with NETA, and they will work with NETA. That's gonna be one of the requirements. They gotta work with NETA not to duplicate services. So that's the only way to spend that money is on tourism. What else can we do with it?
NETA, all we gotta do is give them a list of things that we want. We're already giving them $800,000. I found out, I've done some checking and I found out we're not working with them.
The contractor could do that. That'd be a good role.
Why don't
for
we
this
take that
contractor.
$800,000 and put it in the infrastructure here for tourism? Why don't we build a nice farmer's market up here like we talked about?
I think Mayor Venable said pretty clear last Thursday why we can't spend that money on farmers market. There's nobody gonna come from 50 miles away to buy a tomato.
I'm going to recognize Commissioner Croswhite's next. Commissioner Horn, did you take? Okay. Recognize Commissioner Croswhite, then Commissioner King.
Thank you, Chairman. Let's remember, we cut out our nonprofits. I've worked with NETA, I'm on several nonprofits. I've worked with NETA with the Ralph Blizzard Museum. Tried to work with NETA with the Holston Heritage Museum. But yet we had to turn around and join their, pay like $144 to get in their magazine. We need this money locally because of these. We have the Dairy Inn. We have the oldest pre-Civil War buildings in the state of Tennessee. They're falling down, people. You know, if we can get somebody in there to, I know we can't use it to make them prettier, but get somebody in there where it can be open all the time. And when this campus is open, we're gonna have people coming in here for ball games, football. Jessica's gonna be playing pickleball. We're gonna have all kinds of activities that's gonna bring in money to this area. So we need this. We need to pass this and get someone or somebody to coordinate with NETA to get it done.
Commissioner King.
Hey, you said that nobody from 50 miles is gonna come to the farmer's market to buy a tomato. You're missing the whole point. You gotta have something for people to come to. And a farmer's market would be something, it's not only for produce. If you could do, it's unlimited what you could do if you built the right kind of building to do it in. You could have something in it every night, every weekend, that you could be doing something to draw people.
Oh, yeah, if you got an event venue, that's probably right up the alley, but you mentioned farmer's market.
But it's right, the farmer's market, it is, but can you not use the building like Kingsport uses it for other things other than the farmer's market?
Possibly. I mean, that's why we got to have a professional in this role to tell us what we can and can't do, because if you think it's expensive to contract a contractor to do this, you do something wrong, and that's what's expensive. They could take every penny we've got if we do something wrong. So we got to find a professional that knows what they're doing.
All I'm saying is, You gotta have something to draw them to if you're gonna get people to come to this area.
You got an event?
They gotta have something to come to.
I'd love to see an event venue here where we could have bluegrass festivals and all those types of things.
There you go.
We need
That's
that.
what I'm saying. You could have all this stuff at this building if we build it and build it right.
But what I'm saying is we gotta have somebody that knows how to do it. We gotta have a professional that knows how to do it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you don't think somebody in Sullivan County can't come up with a plan for a farm?
Who you got in mind?
Well, we've got architects that do it every day.
Architects don't know anything about tourism.
They can build the building though.
If it's an event venue, like I said, that's fine. All this resolution is authorizing the mayor to put out RFQs for people to find out their qualifications. And those professionals are the ones we need to lean on to tell us what we can and can't do.
Commissioner Glover.
Mr. Crosswhite, you are right, we did cut out nonprofits. But this money here is different than the nonprofit money. The nonprofit money was tax collection money. This is local option tax. This is people coming in spending money from other places here. And you and Mr. Vanover are on the board in Bluff City, the museum board. That's a prime example. Some of this money that they were asking for through nonprofits, some of this money right here should go to them. And they're set up to educate children, educate the community, and the whole 9 yards. That's what we ought to be focusing on. Why do you want to send money out of Sullivan County to another state? I don't understand that. Why do we want, I know what the ideal is. There's a group right here in Kingsport that's foaming at the mouth to get their hands on this money to promote tourism. That's exactly what the deal is. Why do we want to do that? It just don't make any sense. Not less than a month ago or a month and a half ago, we were in here trying to figure out how to get money to keep from raising taxes on people. And now we're trying to figure out how to throw $800,000 across state lines. It don't make sense.
I don't know who is going to send money out of state.
I'm gonna have to exercise a little bit of discretion here. I've got a long list of folks, and we need to reel it back into the purpose of the resolution. Commissioner Vanover, would you mind to state the purpose of the resolution once more?
Purpose of the resolution. Commissioner Maines. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good point. The resolution is to authorize the Sullivan County Purchasing Agent to advertise for requests for qualifications to provide tourism marketing and tourism enhancement services to Sullivan County on an annual contractual basis. They may find someone who's qualified, they may not. It's just authorize the mayor to be able to put those RFQs out for people to respond to. That's all it is. Thank you.
Recognize Commissioner Maines.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a couple of questions. This person, if we hire them and they're not delivering on their job, can we do something different?
That's the beauty of having a contract. If you hire someone and put them on staff, it's not really easy to tell somebody they don't have a job. But if you've got a contractor, you can have pretty stringent rules. And the idea of a contract is you're going to do A, B, and C, and you're going to get paid A, B, and C for doing those three things. And if you don't get the money. And if you don't perform, it's easy to turn them loose. It's a lot easier than if you had to hire an employee. And that's just what the mayor told me before the meeting tonight. Said if this doesn't pass either this month or next month, then I'll probably just have to hire someone. And then if you hire someone, that comes out of the general fund. That hurts our budget. If it comes from a contractor, tourism money can be used for that. So that's a good thing about a contractor.
I got a couple more questions. Well, a couple more statements. I think we've really kind of handcuffed Matthew. He's been like the everything guy around town, and I hope this offers him some reprieve. And quite personally, I don't like this kind of stuff, but if I could do away with property tax, I would. Like, I can't stand that. So, but I was doing the math, and it was, if we had about 4% more on the sales tax, which we're not doing that, of an increase on sales tax, we could do away with property taxes. But we're not even there. That's totally different ballgame. I'm just saying that that is related to this tourism aspect of things. And about 2 years ago, Commissioner Vanover wanted to bring in a grant coordinator, and it was fast, and I did not vote for that because of, you know, hiring a new full-time job and all of that. But it was a very good move, and I feel like it has ended up just compounded with beauty, just what's come out of that. So I'm in full support of this, and so thank you very much.
Commissioner Cross.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question speaks right to the resolution, and we went back and forth between two words. We're sending out RFQs, request for qualifications, or you were talking about if we hire someone. Does this passage, this resolution, let me ask this question. We send out the RFQs, we get them back, we get a favorable RFQ. What happens after that?
We talked about that some last week, but according to Chris Davis, I've asked her that exact question, and that's a legitimate question. They have once they put out the RFQs, they rank them in order of how well they think they will perform. Then they've got a committee that she appoints to assure that the one that they have chosen is the right one, and they can re-rank them and go back through it again. And once they come up with a winner, then they go to the department head, and the department head gives them the authority to negotiate a price with them. Then, as I think the mayor said last week, if I'm not mistaken, that would come back to the commission for a final vote.
So it would come back to us before the money was spent?
I think that's what the mayor said last week, am I not?
And the other question, I apologize for this, but it's not to this resolution, but with NETA, do we revisit that every year, or is that contractual like forever?
I think we have to revisit that every year.
That's, and honestly, I didn't want to call him, but I was, yes. Thank you, I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you.
And Mr. Johnson, you were trying to get our attention.
Yes, please. Mr. Chairman, yes, sir. This is just directed to you for general clarification. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. When it comes to NETA, absolutely easy to work with, no question. But it is worth mentioning that you should never take the first no, and I probably did, because I too serve on the Bluff City Museum Board. We made requests, and since it's not outside of that 50-mile boundary, it was rejected. It was also rejected here in Bluffville, which is understandable because it needs to be spent outside of the 50. But I just wanted to mention there were some attempts, but I could have done better and followed up and pushed some things outside the area. We do have a new logo that came out toward the end of the fiscal year. Everything is ready to roll. We're trying to put up billboards and things of that nature outside of the area. Just ran into the cutoff for the fiscal year. So,
Commissioner McMurray.
Thank you. I think we all agree we have to spend this money on tourism. And I think Zane's got a great idea, and Herschel and Dwight, they have good ideas too. But as I recall, at the work session, the mayor said, well, building a farmer's market's not tourism. So I think really at the heart of the issue is is tourism. What is defined as tourism? Is building a farmer's market, would that classify as tourism, or would we run afoul of the state statute? So I don't know if anybody, whether Commissioner Vanover has any clarification, or even Attorney Street, the definition of tourism. I mean, how liberal is it, and what does it really entail? Is that an actual idea that we can actually follow here? I mean, budget's tight, but we've got a surplus here that we can spend, and we should spend on tourism. But I think we just need some guidance on what that actually means, because anything can be related to that.
just a point of clarification.
The tourism term used to be a lot more broad. It was narrowed in scope by the legislature to focus outside of that 50-mile. You're trying to attract the folks outside the 50-mile radius. However, I will say this is my opinion. We don't have to seek comptroller's help or attorney. But I think if you were to look at a multi-purpose unit for tourism, for concerts, and then if it just so happened to be available on a Thursday, I mean, such as the Kingsville Farmers Market,
So that
right?
would
I wouldn't define it as a farmer's market, and I'm not trying to skirt anything, but I'm just saying if we think creatively and follow the law, I think we could make both things happen. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
And again, I'd like to just bring us back to one place. The resolution of itself, and I'm not trying to form your opinion of the resolution. I'm simply just letting you know that the resolution, its purpose is not to define tourism or create methods of tourism. It is simply, the resolution, Commissioner Vanover, is simply authorizing the purchasing agent to advertise. That is what this resolution does. We're not defining tourism. We're not looking for different methods of tourism. We're just asking the purchasing agent to advertise, correct, sir?
Yes, exactly.
That's all this resolution particularly does.
That's step one.
Yes, Commissioner Crossline.
Chairman, I just wanted to say a few things about Matthew. He has been doing tourism. Anybody around here in June, I don't know if you came down here to our June jams, we do have a little, right down here in the park that we have music. Town Hall, they have music here every Friday night. And Matthew promotes that, and we do get people from 50 miles.
Yeah, we do mass communication over the radio.
Yeah.
We get folks very 50 miles.
But even at our museum in Blood City, we're getting people with Matthews promoting us from 50 miles away. And we have things that people can come here. We just need to promote it more. And Matthew, bless his heart, he doesn't have the time. He's an archivist, so thank you. Thank you, Matthew.
Commissioner Horn, then Commissioner Slagle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Matthew, besides tourism and archives, what else do you do for Sullivan County? List, please.
Well, I mean, I bloom where I'm planted, and any way I can help, I'm available. We work with the campus, we work with the ball teams, we rented it out to Color Guard. Last night there was an event. I was here about 9:30. We helped facilitate that, and glad to do that for anyone. So I mean, I do stay busy. I wear a lot of hats, and our staff does too. I'm blessed.
And you work hard at each one of those.
I do my best. I really do.
To me, this is a no-brainer. The bottom line is we want the most bang for our buck, and the more irons you got in the fire, the less attention each iron gets. No offense to Matthew, but when he has a lot on his plate, and if we could take this money and focus it on somebody or an agency, or I don't care where they are, but if their goal is to better our area, our community, our county, to include the rural areas, because I imagine they're going to have people with that experience, then to me that's more bang for the buck. We're asking Matthew to do too much, and taking this portion off his plate would allow an agency or organization to give full attention, 100% attention to tourism, not 25% or whatever he's able to give in the amount of time that he can put towards it. To me, it's a no-brainer.
Commissioner Slagle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So just following up on a comment from Commissioner Cross, would the sponsor be open to an amendment on the resolution just to clarify that it comes back to the commission once the purchasing agent makes a selection? Sir? Make that motion. To amend that it state the final decision comes back to the commission once the purchasing department has conducted their study and made a recommendation, done their work. As the mayor stated last week, I think the sponsor stated tonight.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what the mayor said.
Yeah. Can we put that in the resolution?
Is that not in there now? I'll say it. Make motion to amend.
Motion to amend.
Would you mind restating for the clerk? So
Yeah, so upon completion of the process by the purchasing agent and committee, that once a third party has been identified to perform this work on behalf of Sullivan County, that the county commission will then review that and have final approval on that.
Final comments on the resolution.
Thank you for all your help. And I just want to clarify to Mr. Joe McMurray, they had a new definition of tourism this year, and it was you can use tourism dollars for two things, to promote or to develop tourism. Then they had to come up with the definition of a tourist, and that was someone who travels 50 miles or more to get to a destination to enjoy those amenities. So they did try to clean it up a little bit this year in the state legislature, but I think that helped quite a bit as telling us how to direct that money.
Commissioner Vanover, what's your desire for the resolution?
To ask for immediate adoption and consideration and ask for waiver of rules.
Sponsor moves waiver of rules on item number 8, requiring 16 votes for passage. Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on item number 8, requiring 16 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
16 yes, 6 no, 2 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, item number 8 is adopted. Without objection, recognize Commissioner Calton on item number 9.
Thank you, Chair. This is to approve the change for Sullivan County employees' share of premiums. And we have ours through the state of Tennessee for approximately 8 years. And each year the state updates the cost for local government to participate in this plan. So they've had an increase in the premiums and we need to approve it. And it's waivers of rule.
You've heard the explanation on item number 9. The floor is open for discussion. Sponsor moves waiver of rules on item number 9, requiring 16 votes for passage. Anyone seek recognition for discussion? Anyone seek recognition? Without objection, when the board opens, please cast your vote on item number 9, requiring 16 votes for passage. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk.
21 yes, 1 no, 2 absent.
Having received the necessary majority of the votes cast, item number 9 is adopted. That brings us to the end of our resolution calendar, and I didn't know where these were at the beginning of the meeting, but I got them in between. And would it, oh, excuse me, Commissioner Major, was you seeking recognition? Oh, I was wanting, if it would be okay, I would actually like to take just a small 5-minute recess for the purpose of passing out committee assignments and let everybody have an opportunity to look at those and read through those. The budget committee, as you all know, is 100% appointed by the mayor. That's written in stone. But as of right now, I've had a few people request some different assignments, and I would like to just pass these out, and then we can talk about that when we come back, and if there's any changes anybody like to make. We could actually approve the committees. I remember last year we voted on the Financial Management Committee in the month of October, because that's some folks were wanting to be on that weren't assigned to it. Would anyone? Yes, Mr. Bagley.
Before you get on to that particular business, if I could call your attention, on your desk, you have the updated version of our employee handbook. A few months ago, this body voted to appropriate the funds for us to go get a consultant, legal consultant, to clarify and complete all the many statutes and regulations that we have to comply with now. And we went to Becker Donaldson, they completed it, and we brought it back and showed it to our people, and many other parts of it. We've tried to cover everything that we've been in the past, included in our handbook. A lot of it has been updated as far as phraseology and clarification, but not any major changes there, but getting the legal requirements. And I know Dan and myself and the mayor and all of us have had problems with working out all the changes in the statute. And the 1st of October, so that's set the state statute since we participate in their plan. I appreciate y'all just give it a motion or whatever that you can accept this, and we'll go forward with it.
Motion to accept.
Motion to accept by Commissioner Crawford. We need to put that on the board so we can, you could give Miss Sarah the proper verbiage for that, Mr. Mayor. It was motion by Commissioner Crawford, second by Commissioner Calvin.
Commissioner Ward? Question for the uneducated side over here, the B team, for Mr. Bailey. Can you say that word one more time? Phraseology?
Well,
what's the definition of that word?
I'll be honest with you.
And how do you spell it?
Yes, I can't even spell that word, I don't think. But, in other words, we try to clean up the language here and there, make it a little more clear. The people that deal with employees and department heads every day run into these issues, and they kind of know where the confusion comes in, hope they have, you know how that goes. I appreciate the question.
We were trying to spell it over here. We could figure it out.
Very nice, Commissioner Locke.
So before we accept this handbook, I don't think it needs to be accepted tonight. I think we.
It don't have to be, but if you start, the only way we can find out how well it's working is put it out there in the department head start.
Why don't we look at it first and see if there's anything we need to change before accepting it? I don't think we need to accept anything when it's laid on our desk the night of. There's already stuff in here that I will look at.
Do you make a motion to defer this till next
motion not to
month?
accept it tonight. We need to review it, we need to vote on it in October.
That's a proper motion by Commissioner Locke, second by Commissioner Slagle. Is there any discussion on the motion to defer the handbook for a month? We can do that by a voice vote if that's okay. Is that all right? All those in favor of deferring the handbook for a month, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed that would like to take it up this month. In the opinion of the chair, the motion to defer. Motion to defer is adopted. this will be on our calendar next month. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that 5-minute break, give everybody an opportunity to look at their committee assignments. In fact, it's the same committee assignments you got a year ago. I was just looking at that, that's what it looks like. Let's take a few minutes and we'll talk about that. Yeah, and I've already had a few people tell me what changes they'd like to make, and we'll accommodate that when we come back. We'll work on this. We'll recess for 5 minutes.
So I'll get up with you.
Not as much as my sister. So my sister looked at me one time, she's like, this song plays here now. It's like, there's no one. She's like, you're working with duties. Even a little too. Yes, it is beautiful.
Do you want to?
No, you don't. You don't.
Find somebody else to do it. Gonna slice.
Oh, I thought you were saying beverage.
There's a minimum. We don't always. We have it.
what you need.
I was also.
I'm gonna go over on this.
I guess I have to
Just
start your meetings 10 minutes late, you'll always be on. Exactly. There you go.
Hunter Locke.
There you go. Come on. How you doing? You doing all right?
So far, so good.
Yeah. Almost.
Don't make a decision. I want to know about 6 months later. What I went today, helping their court say, their residents money there.
Hi, Joe.
Have them communicate with that. We saw today. We don't need to.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So there was nothing.
Yeah. Straight off next week. I know, yeah.
Those guys already have it.
Yeah.
What did Zane go?
Should say that we have. The only thing you can really do is somebody else we went through all the numbers of what it's they were singing his praise. He said he's been staying up till midnight, not eating, going home and standing. Tell them what we saw. I'm talking about the church and how they've been able to get their able to somebody talk. Got a lot out west, you got a lot of farms out there. Driving out the west, you see I was all against getting but since then, I've sat there and looked at everything, what I saw today, we don't need to be doing it. We need to give them the rest of it, take our part of the parts. That takes money off the taxpayers to get the parts. You can justify it.
I think we're ready. And this is last year's printout. Does anyone, Commissioner Means request to be added to the building committee? Was there someone else that asked to be? I have a lot of conversations, so it don't take me a half second to forget. Commissioner Stidham, you wish to be on the building committee as well. And there's nothing in our local rules that prohibits us from adding members to one of our subcommittees. So what's the will of the body? My thought was we could defer the whole document until next month. We have time to look it over. We'll be having to vote on the Financial Management Committee next month. And again, the mayor assigns the Budget Committee. So what's the...
I make a motion we defer to next month.
We have a motion to defer the committee assignments, the approval of the committees until next month. That's the proper motion by Commissioner Stidham, second by Commissioner Ward. Is there any discussion on the motion to defer for a month? Without objection, all those in favor of deferring the committee approval of committee assignments will be deferred for 1 month. And before I move along, I'd like to recognize some friends from Bluff City. We have Mayor and Alderman. If y'all would wish to say a few words, you're more than welcome. Mayor Staley.
Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to thank you so much for your consideration of the roller and the Kubota tractor. We are eternally grateful. We really are. We're picking up the pieces. We're still trying to move forward. And so all of the help that you give us, we are so grateful. I'd like to thank Eric Kearney also for his work in this, and of course, Jerry Malone, the professional beggar. he's really good at that. But from the bottom of my heart, and for our town, our little town, and Commissioner King and Commissioner Glover, thank you so much. Commissioner Crosswhite, you're a trooper in there. You're Bluntfield, but you love Bluff City, so that's good. But thank you all very, very much. It means the world to us. It absolutely does.
Alderman Malone. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, I said, don't ask him to speak, he'll talk 2 minutes. But I'm on the board of Bluff City, and then also board of the Hosted Heritage Museum. And we had a couple of people call and wanted to come up from Crossville to see the museum. And I said, well, how did you find out? They said, well, we was Googling, it said what to do in Sullivan County. So I don't know exactly where that link came off of, but it had Hosted Heritage Museum. They looked at it. They found out we had a steel from Popcorn Sutton had built, him and J.B. Rader, and it's a licensed steel that they built in 2004 or so. And we didn't buy the county money. Somebody said we took it $30,000 and bought it. We did. But they came up and stayed for an hour or so, and they left. I can't remember if they give us $200 a piece or $100 a piece, but anyway, it was either $200 or $400. And they said, well, we just drove up here. We want to see Sullivan County, and can you recommend some places that we can go eat, and some places we could see? And then, but they already had a room in Johnson City around as far as the hotel tax, I guess, we would end up here. But on the tourism, of course, we're really involved with the museum, trying to bring people to our county. But I don't know. If anybody got to go to the governor's conference yesterday, not today, but yesterday, my daughter, her name is Kimberly Malone Davis, and she spoke. She's with works for state of Virginia, and she's got Southwest for.
Mr. Malone, you killed the battery.
Very good. I told you. Anyway, she spoke the day before, I guess it's yesterday, and they invite it's Tennessee Governor's Conference, but he invited her from Virginia to come down and tell them what they're doing in Virginia to get ideas for Tennessee. And she spoke. I have no idea if it's good or bad or what she said, but anyway, I was talking to her the other day, and I said, you know, this hotel motel tax, and she said when she was in Knoxville, she worked for Knoxville Tourism and Sports Corporation, which they had a split, and the county, they did all the advertising or the tourism for Knox County and Knox City. And they decided that they wanted to put it out for bids. I think it's some politics there, but they want to do it. And she was the marketing director for then, and so she put together a plan, and all these people came in to push their thing, to move on the thing, and it was a $5.5 million contract between the county and the city, so it was a big deal. Anyway, she put together with a firm in Knoxville and blew it out of the water, and they got the $5.5 million. And they changed the name to Visit Knoxville, so when they done that, is when they done it. She wanted to come back to Sullivan County, so they moved back, and she took a job at Birthplace Country Music for 5 years, and then hired with the state of Virginia. And she does the tourism, building projects, and so forth, part of HUD, for 19 counties in Southwest Virginia, 53 towns, and 4 cities. And she does about 800 square miles, and she's got stuff going everywhere. And she said, Sullivan County said, she lives in Piney Flats, and she said, I'm proud of Sullivan County. We said, with the money they got for their stuff here, there's no reason in the world that they can't be the #1 tourist to pull the people in. It's the only person in East Tennessee that can beat them is Gatlinburg. And she said, you know, that's just a different world down there anyway. But she worked with Gatlinburg when I was in Knoxville on promoting, you know, a lot of stuff there. And she works with, you know, travel writers and stuff and bring it in. And she said, you know, if there's a committee, I'd like to maybe come over and put my 2 cents worth in. I don't know who to talk to, but maybe somebody wants me to sit down and listen to a few ideas I've got, because, you know, she's hired what you're talking about over several different people to come in and to do the promotions and stuff. So I'm offering her. She may back out on us, but to do it. She left the meeting yesterday, drove to Washington, D.C. She got promoted, or asked her to be on Lead Virginia. They took 60 top people, and they go throughout the state of Virginia as their leaders. And she just went to Pentagon this morning, so I don't know where else in Washington, but they're doing it. And she's on the Appalachian Regional Commission. She just left NETA. She said she came off that board. I know she does on one of the, for the airport, you know, she's on their council for recommendation stuff and a lot of other things. So I'm often, if you're interested, you can get hold of me or have Zane or somebody, you know, if you'd like her to sit down with some people and give you maybe some stuff that'll keep you a lot of dead ends and going maybe in the wrong direction and stuff, because she says, if I live in Sullivan County, I want it to be the best. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Ward.
A couple things. I've heard Jessica speak more this week than I have in probably the 3 or 4 years I've known her, but truly proud of you for what you put on yesterday. Yeah. And if you missed that, you missed a pretty good event, that candlelight vigil last night.
Recognize Commissioner Means.
Why did you do that? I had a good joke first. I was going to say the reason I questioned your mental health thing is because I didn't want to see Virgil Glover in trouble. know that this whole Charlie Kirk thing might get old to some people, especially if you're like, I don't even know who this guy is, and I'm starting to get a little tired of hearing about him. But as you know, he was assassinated last week. I kind of looked into him a few years ago when my kids started looking at him. And so I seen what he stood for and what he was fighting against. You all know about all the stuff that we've just been inundated with over the past 10 years. So I respected what he was doing, and he really fought for excellence. He fought for the American dream. And no matter where you came from, no matter what your background was, no matter what your skin color was, no matter what your gender was, if you work hard in America, you can achieve what it is, whatever that dream might be. And I believe that too. And he was a dad. You know, I just think about Joe McMurray down there, and he's just raising his kids, and he's taking them to church, and you know, he won't get that opportunity to get where he was, and he could have been the next president. I think I've seen today that the Senate is so, and most of all, he promoted faith and family and freedom. But I'm just asking that as time rolls on, that maybe you just, if you hear about him, try not to roll your eyes about it because you're just tired of it. Try to lean into the conversation. Try to encourage the cities that are within your district to hold these prayer vigils for people. Because he gave a lot of people hope, and I just thank you all. There was about 300 people out there. Thank you to the commissioners who came. It means a lot. You mean a lot to me. Thank you to Eric Kearney for just jumping in and moving chairs around. Everybody did that, and it was a beautiful night. And so thank you, Chairman Gardner. And, thank you.
Thank you.
Emphasize family and freedom. The other thing that my husband and I took away from Charlie Kirk, and I think it's something that we all as commissioners, because we engage with people all the time about opinions when they're speaking to us and we're trying to communicate with them. But we noticed that when he ever spoke with people, he held his microphone and he would be talking. But when someone came up to express their opinion, he always put his microphone down. And he didn't pick it back up until they were finished with what they wanted to say. And then he would pick it back up and he would debate with them. And so I just think that the way he expressed himself and the way he engaged with people is something that we need to remember and learn from, and I think it's a very positive thing. So we're thankful for Charlie Kirk. Thank you.
Anyone else seek recognition for announcements? Anyone else? We'll be starting activities back up at the Ag Center in October. Is that right? Yeah. We'll definitely do that. Anyone else seek recognition for announcements? Entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning? signify by saying aye. Stand adjourned. Thank you all.
Call break.